Hi, welcome to the second episode of my knitting podcast, I guess. I'm Katie. I live in Boston. I'm also Claws Out Yarn Company. I dye yarn. I've been knitting for 20 years. There you go. That's me. So today I have some updates from my last video where I talked about my stash down goal for this year, which is to knit up all of the sweater quantities that I have purchased last year, of which I think the final total is 11. So my goal is to make 11 sweaters / garments this year. Will it happen? I don't know. That's why I'm taking you along with me. So I guess we can start with the updates first. So the updates I have from my last video. First of all, yes, I did just shower because I am a curly girl morning shower person. So this will look a lot better in like 2 hours once everything dries. Anyway, where I left you last video, I had finished one sweater, my season sweater. I had 2 more sweaters in progress, my study hour test and my little crystal sweater. And then I was saying that my next cast on was going to be the sunset sweatshirt. So first and biggest and most exciting update is that I finished my test knit. So here is this beautiful sweater. I absolutely love this sweater. This is coming out probably in April or May. The test ends in April. And this is Claire Jackson, Perfectly Knotted. This is her study hour sweater pattern. It has a V-neck. Actually, let me just put it on, make everything easier. I'm completely obsessed with this sweater. It is so cozy, and I would probably make it again in a, maybe in a solid weight, just to have this sweater in 2 colorways. So, there, now you can see it. So this is the deeper V-neck option, which is the one that I made. This yarn is by my friend McKenna, who is Honey and Quill is her dye studio name. She's amazing. This is the colorway Mulled Cider. And yes, this is fine. It's blocked and everything. I love this sweater. It has this little garter stitch detail that goes across the shoulder, which I think is really gorgeous. Otherwise, it is a, ooh, my chair is making noise. Otherwise, this is a drop shoulder sweater. You knit the back first, and then you knit each side of the front panels. And somewhere in there, you join in the round about here, where the V-neck is, and then you knit for a little while, and then you join. You join the front, then you join in the round. I actually made my sleeves long enough for myself this time, even when blocked, which I usually don't do, and I have long arms, so a challenge for me sometimes is like remembering to actually do enough ribbing and enough length on the sleeves, just because I don't like having my sleeves be like up here. I like them down here. So, but I did it with this one, and I think it looks great. So that is now I made 2 sweaters from my stash down goal. 2 out of 11. It actually is gonna be 12 because I have some yarn acquisitions I'm gonna talk about. So I did break my own rules again. But I don't feel bad about it. So that is the deal with this sweater. I think it looks great. It's long enough. It's like a little bit cropped. I wouldn't really consider it cropped on me, the length that I did. I think it's great. It's one of my favorites. I wore it to work the other day and it was a big hit. People were like, did you make that? And I was like, yeah, I did. So big fan. So that is now 2 out of 11, whatever that is. That's actually a pretty good percentage. 20%? A little under 20% of my sweaters, so not bad. And then the next, I'm too hot for this right now, even though it's like 30 degrees out. So I'll just put that down. So I said that the next sweater I was going to make was going to be the sunset sweatshirt, and that is exactly what I have done, but I have a little story about this one. So actually this is the front. Here she is. This is, there you can see it. This is Cursed Creator by the Painted Fern Fiber Company. It's Frankenstein inspired yarn. It's worsted weight. It's amazing. It's so soft and beautiful and buttery. So this sweater this is a Jessie May pattern that I am enjoying. The issue I found, first of all, I don't swatch very often, especially when it's not for me. Like, I swatched for that test knit, but that's because I'm giving information to the designer. I don't usually swatch for myself. So that may have been an issue with this one. So I'll own that. So I had actually knit a lot more than this, because right now this is like just right under my armpits. And then on Wednesday last week, I tried it on, and I was like, oh no, the armholes were like down here. They were like almost to my pants. And I was like, that's not, like, I know it's supposed to be oversized, but I had looked at everybody else's patterns on Ravelry and theirs were not like that. And I was like, okay, so I had chosen, this garment has a lot of positive ease, which means that the final measurement of the garment is a lot larger than the final measurement, like the actual measurement of your body. And it's supposed to be that way because it's supposed to be oversized. I was slightly in between two of the sizes. So I picked the larger one because I was like, oh, I want it to be oversized. And then it turned out to be too oversized. So what I did was I ripped back 40 rows, which was intense. While we were watching Survivor, it was really quite an evening. I ripped back 40 rows, I put in a lifeline where I wanted to go back to, and then I went back and I joined in the round that way. Which was certainly a choice. And I don't regret it. So now I have, this is what the armhole looks like now. It's a much more reasonable length and setup. So I think this is going to work better for me this way, and that's just my own. It's knit on size 9 needles, which is pretty big for, even for worsted weight yarn. It's a pretty, like, it's not a loose fabric, but it is, you know, obviously with size 9 needles, the row length is a little bit longer, and so I just didn't, you know, that's on me. So now I did that sweater surgery and I actually nailed it. I'm very proud of myself. I put in the lifeline correctly, which is difficult because where I was putting in the lifeline, it was still a back panel and a front panel that weren't connected. So I did it successfully. I counted right and everything, and it totally worked out. I didn't have to do any weird increases or decreases. So now I just have, basically I tore back some of the length that I built in when I was knitting these parts flat. So that's what I get. Whatever. I'm still really loving this. I'm really excited. It's going to have like big sleeves. And now I'm going to be saving a little bit of yarn on it, so I'll be able to make the sleeves longer, do more ribbing or whatever I want. So that's exciting. I love this yarn. I had to wind it all into balls. There's a whole other skein as well that is in my backpack from this. So, but that now means that this is the fourth sweater I'm working on out of these, this stash down sweater quantity goal. And this one, because it is on size 9 needles, is working up pretty fast. I mean, even though I had to tear it back, just doing this part, like this, like whatever this is, 3 inches or so on under the arm, really only took me like another like couple hours of solid knitting. And I am bringing this one, I'm either bringing this one or my Little Crystals one to a brewery later today to hang out with friends. So I'll be able to get some more work done on those. Speaking of the Little Crystals, hang on one second. Okay, so my Little Crystals sweater, which is that all over colorwork sweater I'm doing, is right here. I have really not worked very much on it since the last time that you saw me here. But I actually was able to get out in some rows yesterday First of all, look at how pretty with the floats. I got in some rows yesterday, and now you can actually kind of see this star motif that's appearing. If I pull up the pattern, obviously I'm not going to show you the pattern, like the details, but I'm like in here, this area. So I will work this chart, and then I do this motif until it is long enough, however long I want it to be, or I forget what it says in the pattern, until it's like 9 inches or something. And then I'll do more color work at the bottom. And then the sleeves will match the color work that's on the body. So this is definitely like an undertaking. But I'm really, really enjoying it. This is the front. Let's see. It is going slowly, but it is going much faster now that I'm not doing color work flat, which if you ever see me planning on making a worked flat color work sweater again, just be like, hey, remember you didn't like that very much. Because all of this until these solid rows was all knit flat color work. So that means, if you don't know what that means, it means that on the wrong sides, on the inside, you have to go back and forth and you have to purl your color work and figure out how to make that look good and make your I didn't like that. So that's okay. I learned my lesson. I'm loving this sweater though. I think it's kind of a neutral, but it's also warm. You can see I have a thing for warm sweaters going on right now. I really love her, and I'm really excited. So I might, this one is one that I might take to the bar later. I say bar, we're going to a brewery because it's daylight savings and it's like nice out. Nice, it's like 43 is the high today. But that could be crazy because this one obviously requires me to be focused, and I'm going to be yapping with knitting friends and like not really able to read a pattern super well, especially after I have 1 or 2 IPAs. But I would bring it just because it's fun, and luckily the patterns, like each row is pretty easy to memorize, which I really appreciate. It's like very repetitive, which is great. So this one might be coming with me, mostly because I just really want to like knock out some progress on it because it looks so cool. Yeah, and I'm really motivated by seeing like these stars come out in the motif, and then the next bit is kind of like a repetition of this area. I don't know. I'm really excited about it, and I want to like make it happen. So this one might come to the bar with me, and if I don't work on it, I won't feel bad. I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. So that's the little crystal sweater. So there really isn't an update on that one. The big updates are obviously that I finished the study hour sweater, and I am now officially well on my way onto the sunset sweatshirt now that it's the right size. So let's see. Ooh, I have a little unboxing I can do. So in my last video, I was telling you all about every sweater quantity of yarn that I purchased last year. And one of those was the Treehouse Knits Season of the Stitch yarn, but I hadn't received it yet. It had like just shipped when I was filming that video, so it hadn't gotten here yet. But I have it here now, and so I got 3 colors. One is enough for a sweater, and that's what the one that I talked about. That I talked about last time. But then I also got a skein for socks and a skein for a hat. So a little package ASMR for you. I'm really excited about this. So this is Treehouse Knits. This is an entire Noah Kahn themed collection, which is like, oh, it's so pretty. I've been waiting to open this. It's so beautiful. Okay. So this is what I was talking about last time. I have the one red sweater quantity here, the Cursed Creator, and then this is another red sweater quantity. Oh my god. Oh, it's so soft. Okay. So I got this. This is the red one. See what I mean? That this is like a more... This is the Painted Fern Fiber Company, and this one is the Treehouse Knits. It's hard to tell because my lighting is weird, but see, this one is much more red, and then this one is a little more like toned down. I love them both, obviously. So this is also worsted. This one is called This Place Had a Heartbeat, which is from the song Paul Revere. A line from the song Paul Revere, which is quickly became one of my favorite songs from Noah Kahan's album. I'm from New England. I love that man, okay? I love him. So I have 5 of these. And I'm probably going to make the Perfectly Knotted KAL cardigan or something similar. I want to make a cardigan out of these. I feel like that would be really beautiful. So this is... Oh my god, they're so soft. This is the Redwood Worsted base. Oh, and this is my first time seeing them and touching them in real life, and I am absolutely in love. But then I also got other things that are just for fun. Because I was like, I'm limiting how many sweater quantities I'm buying this year, but I was like, you can still buy yarn. Like, come on. So, this one is No More Than the Fossils, and I don't know if you can see that this is a tweed. Yeah. This is a beautiful tweed gray, and this is from the song Maine, which is like, I'm a New Englander. I grew up going to Maine. Like, this is like one of my favorite songs. We're No More Than the Fossils on Crescent Beach State Park. So, this is just a beautiful dark gray. I'm gonna make it into a hat for either my fiance who's from Maine or for me. Actually, I was just asking him about what skein he wants me to make him a hat out of, and this one might be, I'm gonna offer this one as an option. This is just stunning. And then, I'm not gonna say best for last, because that's not how I feel about yarn, but most exciting to me for last is this one, which is Fenway, because Noah Kahan played 2 shows at Fenway Park this past July. So this is inspired by, actually, let me see if I can find it. It's inspired by like the photos of him playing there. I'm just gonna pull up Treehouse Knits and show her inspiration photos. And I had to get this one because I was there. We were there. We got to see, yeah, it's this photo of him playing. So we were there that night. We were there the first night that he was at Fenway, which is the one that this photo is from. It was the most magical. We got to see him play at the home of the Red Sox. I think he called it like the Church of New England, which is like, and actually Noah Kahan then released an album of live at Fenway Park. He released an album of his concert at Fenway, and he recorded it also the night that we were there. That has like a Lumineers song, like they came and played with him, and Gracie Abrams was there. And so this, I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way I'm not buying the Fenway Park Noah Kahan yarn that's inspired by the concert that I saw Noah Kahan at, which like changed my life. Because I'm sure people from other areas feel this way, but when you're surrounded by thousands and thousands of people that are all screaming about how much they love where you live and where you're from and what it means to be from where you're from. The only reason I didn't cry that night was because it was really hot out and I was worried I would get dehydrated. So these are my, I picked colors that are from songs that I love. This is the spruce sock base, by the way. So this one I'm just going to make into a pair of socks. Which is, I'm genuinely so excited about this. So this, since I'm making a red sweater right now, this red sweater is probably not going to be my next cast on. It's probably going to be, It's probably going to be another honey and quill one, the Harbor yarn that I talked about in my last video, to make another cardigan, because that's a DK weight, and I think that'll be my next one because that's a little bit more like spring. And it's spring colors. It's very like Easter. So yeah, but this one may be like, ooh, if I knit this one maybe in the fall as like a winter cardigan, like holiday sweater, a dark red holiday sweater. Yes. Okay. I'm motivating myself by opening all of these. Before I go into my other sweater acquisitions, I wanted to say that I made a mistake in my video last time. I said that I was going to use this DK, CDK from Summit & Skein to make the All Seasons vest. I'm not, because that is a vest for worsted weight yarn. I'm actually going to use this to make the Tetra vest, which I'm showing here, which was, just looks really cool. It's like knit, one half of it is knit like top down the normal way, and then you like seam it and knit it sideways. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be a really fun thing, but it has a cool texture that I think will let this colorway stand out. This is The Surface by Summit & Skein. Anyway, I just had to mention that to make sure that I didn't forget. So, I've made 2 other yarn acquisitions, purchases, whatever, since my last video. One of them is a sweater quantity, but I can explain. So the first thing I saw was, I haven't received either of these, so, but the first one that I saw was from Apothecary Fiber Company, and it is this. Beautiful. It's called 29 because it was their birthday, and they turned 29, and I was like, I'm 29. And that's beautiful yarn. So I bought 2 DK skeins of that, which I think have shipped and they'll be here sometime, but that's exciting because I like to buy yarn that has a meaning to me or to somebody. So obviously with the Noah Kahn stuff. And then the other thing that I bought, this I don't have the actual yarn in front of me, but this is the same colors. It's a long story. So my friend Kate Mesomakes, who made the yarn for this, she recently moved and also got into a car accident, and so she released a couple of her like greatest hits colors from her Taco Bell collection as a way to kind of help her kind of recover from those things, because that's like a lot. So I have the colors because the last time that she put out the Taco Bell collection, I bought this sock set. So this is Baja Blast, obviously, and then this is like 90s Taco Bell. And they're like, look at that, they're stunning with the purples and stuff in there. And the reason these are already wound up is because I was making them into a sock, which I haven't unraveled yet. And the sock wasn't working for me. The needle size, the pattern, it wasn't working. So I'm gonna make this into another sock at some point. But this time around that she released these colors, I decided to get this color on fingering. It's probably this same base or similar. And this, the Baja Blast color, I got on her Suri, alpaca Suri base. And I'm going to hold them together and I'm going to make either a lento or this pattern here, which is, I don't come prepared to these, by the way. I just come with vague ideas of what I want to yap about, and then the Bad Idea blouse by Windwood Knits, which is like a size inclusive, well graded pattern that's really just for like large gauge fingering weight or fingering held with something. So I'm going to play around with those, but I got a couple of each of these colors again. So now I'm going to have matching socks that match my thing. So basically, I will be holding them together like this. And the Baja Blast green color, which actually matches my nails pretty well right now, is going to be Suri, so it's going to be fuzzy. it's just gonna look really cool. So it's gonna basically be this color with like a green blue halo around it. And I was like, you know what? I love Kate. I buy her yarn. Like, I have so much Meso-Mix yarn in my house, in my life. I can see two things right here in my, like, office that were knit with her yarn. I just love her. I love her as a person. I think she's really cool. And she was like, I need a little help with this because I got in a car accident. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to help you out. Like, I would be honored. So, yeah, like this vest that I made, which actually is inside out, I can fix the inside out. But this is also a Jessie May pattern that I tested over the summer. And this is Kate's yarn, Big Strong Viking Men from her Ren Fair collection, which is beautiful. So, and then I added, the green is my own, America's Ballpark, speaking of Fenway color. So those are my yarn acquisitions. So I have the 29, the 2 DK skeins, which I don't know. Send me, comment patterns that are good for 2 skeins of DK weight. I think it's a pretty standard yardage, like 240, 246, something like that. So I have 2 of those coming. What else? I also wanted to talk about just like in my office here. I'm really lucky that in this apartment we have space for me to have a yarn room. It's messy. You can't see the other side of the camera. She's not good. It's not clean in here. Because when we moved in July, a lot of the stuff that we owned and that I owned just kind of ended up in here. So a lot of it's like decorations and stuff. But I have these, which I feel like you can see, but I haven't talked about them. These are my yarn scrap jars that have scraps of all the yarn that I use to knit with. So not the yarn that I dye, not every color goes in here. And it's not like the little, I don't do it as little scraps like when I weave in the ends and cut everything off. This is my 2023. There, you can read it. 2023 yarn scraps. This one is pretty cool. I do it as like I snip a little extra off each skein. This is 2024. There's a lot going on in this one. You can see last year I had a lot more blue going on, which is fun. And then I just started it, but I've been collecting the scraps. This year is a lot more neutral right now. But you know, I'm hoping to change that soon. And then I'm thinking, when I go to the bar, the brewery, I think I'm gonna wind this up and start some socks with it. This is Spun Right Round from Rochester, New York. This is the color Parakeet Feet. I've had this for a long time. I don't remember where I bought it or when. But I feel like it's spring almost. I want it to be spring, so I feel like casting on some yellowy speckly socks would be really nice. I think that's it. I think that's all I have today. I have a little bit less yapping today than I did last time. So you're welcome for that. Probably coming up, I'm going to do a video of me dyeing up some orders for my newest collection. Let me know what else you want to see from me. I've got opinions on designers. I can do a tattoo tour. I can do a dye day. I can walk you through my collections. Let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But yeah, that's what I got for you today. So have a great rest of your day, I suppose. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.